Well, less than 24 hours after we here at theScore Esports dropped our explainer video on the Tfue versus FaZe Clan lawsuit, here we are again with more drama, more rumors, and more facts to clear up. Okay guys, yesterday we did publish a video on the Tfue versus FaZe Clan lawsuit, trying to cut through all the drama, all the rumors, and all the misunderstood, miscellaneous facts that aren't facts. And if you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend you check it out. You're gonna need a strong grounding in this whole issue to understand what we're gonna go through here. So what's changed? Well, I really did not expect to be sitting here in front of you talking about this issue as soon as I am. But as we were putting that video out and later into the night, a couple new bombshells dropped. Namely, the alleged gamer agreement, the contract that Tfue signed with FaZe Clan, was leaked to the public. Later that same night, FaZe Clan released a completely new statement, this time in audio format, and it was 7 minutes long. So there's plenty to go over. Let's start though with the alleged gamer agreement. Now just a note before we begin this section, this alleged contract was leaked by a website called theblast.com, which is a celebrity news site. Now it's worth noting here that theScore Esports has not to this point independently verified the authenticity of this alleged contract. Now we're not gonna pour over every detail of this contract, but the main facts and figures that a lot of people have been debating about and frankly misunderstanding out there are the compensation numbers for Tfue under this alleged original contract. So let's go through those and compare them to what the earlier lawsuit alleged and what FaZe Clan and Tfue have been saying thus far. Firstly, under the original contract, Tfue, again, allegedly was entitled to $2,000 per month in salary. Now that salary could increase up to 25% or decrease by 25% as a result of a performance review of sorts. Now for those of you who aren't so good at math at home, $2,000 a month is obviously $24,000 per year, which I think we'd both agree for the world's arguably top gamer is not exactly adequate compensation. And yeah, I don't think it's that contentious to say Tfue is the top gamer in the world. Sorry, Noob Master 69. Revenue garnered from in-game merchandise would be allegedly split 50-50 between Tfue and FaZe Clan. Now, in our original video, I made great pains to clarify the 80-20 split number as it pertained to third-party endorsements. There was a lot of misunderstanding a few days ago about that online, and I hope we helped clear some of that up. Now, this contract confirms, if it is authentic, what the lawsuit alleges, which is that if FaZe Clan brings Tfue a third-party endorsement, they, FaZe Clan, are entitled to 80% of the revenue from that endorsement, and Tfue would take 20%. Now, if Tfue were to bring an endorsement deal to FaZe Clan, and if FaZe Clan were to accept it, because of course they have veto powers over that, that deal would be split 50-50. Any appearance or live touring money that Tfue would get would likewise be split 50-50 for him and FaZe Clan. Now, you may remember if you watched our previous video, or God bless you if you actually read the Tfue lawsuit, that it contends that FaZe Clan is acting illegally as a talent agency in the state of California. Well, in this alleged original Tfue contract, it does state that the parties submit exclusively to the state or federal courts located in New York, New York. You will also recall that FaZe Clan's initial Twitter statement on this whole matter is, hey, we took 0 of his Twitter money, 0 of his YouTube money, 0 of his streaming money. We only took $60,000 from the guy. We had the right to exercise this 80-20 thing, and we waived it. Well, as the contract notes, and as should be obvious to all of us, failure of a party to enforce its rights will not be construed as a waiver of such rights. In other words, just because FaZe Clan decided not to take their 80-20 split in past instances doesn't mean for the remainder of Tfue's 2-year contract that they can't just do it anytime they want. I don't want to get too sidetracked here, but there's also a clause that says he gets 3 weeks vacation, which is pretty funny. He gets the same vacation as me. Now here's where the contract gets really interesting and the stuff about retaining Tfue for FaZe Clan in the future, even if his contract were to run its natural course, comes up. Upon lawful termination of his offer, upon termination of this contract, after it all runs out, he would be obliged for 3 months after to provide FaZe Clan with any offers from other companies and provide them with the identity of those companies and have FaZe Clan be able to match those offers within 15 days. If FaZe Clan were able and willing to match those third-party offers, he would be obliged to take them. Basically what this means is if Tfue's contract runs its natural course, even if he waits a couple months after, let's say Optic Gaming or some other competitor comes to him and wants to sign him, he is obliged to provide that offer to FaZe Clan, and FaZe Clan can say, yeah, you know what, we can match this exactly or do better, so you're still on FaZe Clan, too bad. Next comes a clause that I found particularly shocking. I've never drafted a contract or a gamer agreement for anyone, but I probably wouldn't put this in it if I did. If Tfue failed to fulfill his duties for FaZe Clan in any way, or he made disparaging remarks against the company, or he basically ran afoul of them in any way outlined in this contract, FaZe Clan, in this alleged contract, contends that they can prohibit Tfue from playing video games publicly, they state online or in live tournaments, or professionally for a period of 6 months, effective directly after his termination. They're literally saying that if they decided to, for lack of a better word, fire Tfue, he couldn't play video games if anyone was watching within 6 months. This is also another thing that the original lawsuit from Tfue filed earlier this week alleges is illegal. There's also another key point in this contract that notes that Tfue's content created under the FaZe Clan brand while he signed to FaZe Clan belongs to FaZe Clan in perpetuity. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, I'm sitting here in front of you doing this video, but this video belongs to theScore esports. And when and if I do leave theScore esports, it will still belong to theScore esports. And if that all sounds really crazy to you, I completely understand. However, just to contextualize it, that and the non-compete clause in other forms are pretty standard when it comes to content creators working for larger corporations. One general observation I had about this contract while reading it, and it is supported by a lot of the things that FaZe Clan actually said, was that it was clearly drafted for someone who doesn't do Tfue's job. There's a lot of talk of practices and team captains and attending LAN events and where prize money goes. It's clearly oriented around professional esports players, COD players, CSGO players. Probably at some point FaZe Clan thought that Fortnite was going to go more in a competitive format, but it didn't turn out to be the case. And Tfue is more of an entertainer. He's more of a content creator than a competitive player. So a lot of the language in this contract seems woefully inappropriate for what he actually does. Okay, that was the complicated part, and reading that contract was legit more difficult than reading the lawsuit. The highlighter got to work out on that one. Now let's move along to FaZe Clan's response. Later the same day, late at night, that the alleged contract was leaked, FaZe Clan posted their biggest, most robust response to this whole controversy to date.
This is a video that absolutely no one at FaZe Clan ever wanted to make because it's going to shed some negative light on a guy that we care a lot about, but he's forced this upon us, and this isn't the way we would like to publicly conduct our business. If people want these things to be public, then they will.
It was a voice video post that was 7 minutes long, featuring the voices of Lee Trink, he's a co-owner and CEO of FaZe Clan, and FaZe Seabass. So I just finished saying how the contracts seem pretty inappropriate for what Tfue actually does. Well, FaZe Seabass notes in the audio video response that that original contract was drawn up under different management and is outdated. He also says that FaZe Clan's current new management decided that the contract was inappropriate and not good way before Tfue actually sent the letters from the lawyers trying to terminate his contract. Now, according to Seabass, multiple renegotiation attempts were made from September of last year and possibly even prior, all the way up to maybe a few weeks ago. These alleged contract reworks, according to Seabass, included such incentives as 7-figure salaries, that's a little better than the $2 grand a month, no splits in income whatsoever, and no splits in revenue, no 80-20, no 50-50, just 100-0 for Tfue. Some of you guys expressed concerns that FaZe Clan might have been skimming off Tfue's support a creator code. Well, Seabass does take great pains to say that that's just not true. They never touched it, and they never took any money from it. Now, after allegedly presenting Tfue and his camp with offer after offer that got better and better and better and more in favor of Tfue, FaZe Seabass alleges that communication completely broke down. The offers were refused, and eventually they were just met with silence. Although even so, he notes that no one in FaZe Clan was aware of a pending lawsuit, and it hit them all by complete surprise, which echoes FaZe Banks' earlier comments on Twitter. Now, Trink, one of the co-owners of FaZe Clan, sort of reiterates and goes into more detail about what Seabass said about the contracts they presented him and how lucrative they were and how good the splits were and how they improved each time. He also contends that Tfue had signed contracts like this before, and he knew what he was getting into when he originally signed it, and it started back in April of 2018. Now, during this whole time when Tfue was getting new offers from FaZe Clan and refusing them or being silent, obviously the original contract still stood and everything in it still stood. But as you guys already know from reading previous FaZe Clan statements, they declined to exercise their rights on a lot of those splits. They didn't collect almost any money from him except for that $60,000 figure. Now, Lee Trink says of that, quote, "We made the decision not to collect any money under the old agreement except for, quote, a couple of brand deals." That's where that $60,000 comes from. And they only took 20% of that when it came to FaZe versus Tfue. Now, you'll remember when we went over the contract that allegedly they were entitled, FaZe Clan were entitled to 80%, and they only took 20. Probably a goodwill measure to show Tfue that he was valued in the company and that even though he hadn't accepted the new offers, that they were willing to honor them. He goes on to say, quote, "The relationship with Tfue was much more important than money," end quote. Now, this echoes exactly what we said in our last video. Do not get bogged down by the 80-20 splits, the $60,000 figure, again, the emotional tweets. This isn't about what FaZe Clan can directly rake off of Tfue in dollar value. A lot of it is in intangibles, in the power that comes with saying, Tfue's on our team. We have Tfue on our brand, and we can sell towards that. We can do a deal with the Pepsis or the Cokes or the Sonys of the world because we've got Tfue on our roster, even if they're not making $1 off of his prize money or his Twitch sub money. Lee Trink does also outright state that Tfue's brother alleges that Tfue wants to start his own esports organization, which again, we talked about in our last video and is really no surprise here. Tfue doesn't want to get out of FaZe Clan just to keep being Tfue. He wants Tfue to become a brand, the new FaZe Clan, bigger than FaZe Clan. Trink finally makes an analogy to basketball, saying that's like the Lakers letting LeBron James create a competing NBA team. They would never let that happen, and we should never let that happen, end quote. It's pretty reasonable coming from FaZe Clan, obviously. So as we painstakingly went over, and you guys can read the alleged contract for yourselves, it is not a good document. However, again, according to FaZe Clan, just to summarize, they presented him with many counter offers that got better and better and better and more lucrative, and he declined them, making it clear that Tfue no longer wants to be a part of FaZe, no matter what the money looks like. FaZe, conversely, obviously does not want to let him go, not only because he's a huge asset to their brand, but they don't want to create their next big competitor. No doubt more will come out in the following days regarding this lawsuit, and different responses will be fired back and forth. Maybe new contracts will be leaked. But I think at this point, a lot of you are kind of ready to make your decisions. I saw some comments in our last video along the lines of, I don't know who to unsub to, I don't know whose side I should be on, and I completely understand that. And I can't help you with it, because at the end of the day, it's a moral, ethical compass kind of decision. Tfue is a victim of his own success. You have to decide whether you think he should abide by a contract which is at this point not really appropriate for him, even though he signed it when it was, or if you side with Tfue and you think that because of his own success, because his wings are spreading, he should be able to break away from FaZe Clan completely.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring that notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit up our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages.